Hi friends, welcome. I brought another book for you today, and this one is a nonfiction book, and it's by Ruth Heller, and it's called Animals Born Alive and Well. And I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks ago we had read another one by Ruth Heller called Chickens Aren't the Only Ones, and at the end she says, that there are animals born alive and well, but that's another tale to tell. And so this is a book that kind of goes with that book, kind of like a companion book that talks about the animals that are born alive and well, the animals that don't lay eggs. And animals that grow their babies in their bodies are called mammals. And that's what we're going to be talking about today and learning about in this True Fact book. Winter, spring, summer, fall, a rabbit's hair changes with them all. And that's just the end pages of the book. It hasn't even started yet, but I like that. It's really cool, showing how a rabbit's fur can change with the seasons. And here's the title page, Animals Born Alive and Well. So here's another mammal, a mouse. You know that one. Mammals are animals with fur or hair who nurse their young and breathe fresh air. They don't lay eggs except these two. These are the only two who do, and you might remember these from Chickens Aren't the Only Ones. These are the only two mammals who lay eggs. One is the spiny anteater, and the other one, you might know that one, the duck-billed platypus. They don't lay eggs, as I have said. Mammals don't, because they're born alive and well instead. Sometimes a mammal's hair is scant. That means they don't have much hair, as on the thick-skinned elephant. Here are some elephants, and they don't have much hair, but they are mammals. They grow their babies inside their bodies. They do not lay eggs. But here's a pair with lots of hair. What are those? Two little dogs, a Pekingese and a Yorkshire Terrier. Maybe you have seen those kinds of dogs before. And here are lots of mammals with stripes and spots. I bet you know some of these. I bet you know that one. Zebra and a giraffe. And here's a leopard and a cloud leopard. Tiger, roar. And a ring-tailed lemur and an okapi. And these have scales and spikes like nails, but all of them are mammals. So the porcupine, the nine-banded armadillo, the three-banded armadillo, we have those here in Texas, and the pangolin are all mammals. They grow their babies inside their bodies. So are camels, and like all the others, they are nourished by their mothers. So besides having hair or fur, another thing that is true about mammals is that they nurse their babies. So here you can see the camel baby is nursing from its camel mama. Mammals, wild, and here are some wild mammals like deer and gazelles and stoats, which are what these things are down here. Mammals tame, all do more or less the same. You might have this kind of mammal at your house. It's a cat. Cats are mammals, and see how she is nursing her babies? That's what mammals do. When they are very, very small, into their mother's pouch they crawl and grow just like a kangaroo. Marsupials are different, but they are mammals too. So not all mammals have a pouch like a kangaroo, but they are a kind of mammal. And koalas are marsupials too, and also mammals. So they are another kind of mammal. Mammals all breathe air, you understand. This isn't hard for those on land. or even those found, so these are lots of air-breathing land mammals like moose and a mandrill and a panda, aardvark, rhinoceros, a hare, which is another word for a rabbit, right? Squirrel, weasel, fallow deer is this one with the big horns. It looks like a reindeer. Bison, wild goat, hippopotamus, red fox, and a giant anteater down here at the bottom. And it says, even those found underground, did you know some mammals could live underground like moles? They live under the ground. Or those who fly. Remember when we learned about bats? Bats grow their babies inside their bodies. They are not birds, even though they can fly. They are the only flying mammal. Bats are, and we have lots of bats in Texas, and in Austin we have them under our Congress Avenue Bridge. Maybe you'll go down there sometime and see how they fly out of there to eat mosquitoes when the sun goes down at dusk. Or mammals who climb up high. What kind of mammals climb up high? All kinds of monkeys. They are mammals too. But mammals living in the sea have to surface frequently. So why do they need to come up? What are they doing? What is this whale doing? What's this dolphin doing? Well, they have to breathe air. So they have to come up to breathe air. The sea otter, the dolphin, the manatee, the walrus, the seal, all these different mammals who live in the sea. The porpoise, whale, and manatee have their babies in the sea. And they are all mammals. The walrus, seal, and otter prefer to leave the water to have their babies, but they are still mammals, and they still grow their babies in their bodies and nurse their young. These are prehistoric, but they were mammals too. So these are some that lived around the time of the dinosaurs. These are all prehistoric mammals. Their names are very long indeed, and they may be very hard to read. The largest mammal is the blue whale. You ever heard about him? He's really big. And the smallest is the shrew. The shrew is like a little mouse. Very small mammal. The best of all are people, just like me and you. Yes, all of us are mammals. Just like all the animals in this book, people are mammals too. We grow our babies in our body. We have hair or fur, and we nurse our young. There's no more to discuss. Everyone who's born alive is viviparous. Remember the egg layers, we learned that was oviparous. Can you say viviparous? Viviparous. Yeah, that's a long science word that means an animal who is a mammal who's born alive and well. And there's some more: cheetah, hedgehog, pig, horse, sheep, all kinds of mammals. And that is the end of the story. And then I have some posters here that I wanted to show you that kind of go over some of the same things we were just talking about and show more pictures of mammals. So the words here say mammals. They are warm-blooded. Okay, remember we talked about reptiles. Do they have warm blood? No, they have cold blood. Mammals have warm blood. They usually have hair or fur. Like a dog would have fur, or maybe this mouse has fur, right? And the horse has hair, okay? Give birth to live young and produce milk to feed them. So that means they grow their babies in their bodies instead of laying eggs. They don't lay eggs. They grow their babies in their bodies, and then they make milk or nurse their babies to feed them. So all of these mammals do that. They use lungs to breathe. So even those ones they talked about in the book who live in the water, like the whale or the dolphin, those are mammals. So they have to come up for air. They live under the water, but they have to come up to breathe air. And you'll see whales, when they come up, they'll spout and blow the air out of their spout so they can get air, and dolphins like to jump out of the water so they can get some air. And mammals can either live on land or in the water. So a sea lion lives in the water, but then also comes out on land a lot to get sun and lay around and be with its other sea lion friends. So that's one poster about mammals. Here's another one over here. And this one you can see a big picture of a kind of mammal you might have seen around your neighborhood, around your yard. This is a raccoon, right? Mammals are vertebrate animals. Vertebrate means they have a backbone, okay? Remember we talked about a backbone? That's when you put your hand on your back right down the middle and you feel that bumpy thing called your spine, okay? That means you have vertebrae, you have a spine, and that's your backbone that keeps you upright. So mammals have that. Mammals breathe with lungs. We have those inside of here. Is our lungs and our heart as well. So lungs help us to breathe, and all mammals have those. Mammals are covered with hair or fur. We heard that one over there. Mammals are warm-blooded. Most mammals give birth to live young. So they grow their babies inside their body, and the babies are born alive. Mammals feed their babies milk, and you can see here the mama horse is feeding her baby. The baby is nursing from the mama horse. All right, so you had a paper where you were supposed to do some sorting of mammals and reptiles. So mammals, what do they have? Well, we just talked a lot about it, right? They have fur or hair. They have lungs to breathe. They grow their babies inside their body. And they nurse their babies when they're born. So all of those are some things about mammals. They're also warm-blooded. And remember, reptiles are what we talked about last week and the week before when we were talking about dinosaurs and snakes and turtles and lizards. Those usually have scales or bony plates. And they also have cold blood. That's why you see them sitting in the sun to get a lot of sun and get warm. And they lay eggs. That's the big, big difference. They lay eggs, and mammals do not lay eggs. All right, so I have already cut and colored my pictures that came on the bottom of the paper. And then this is the top part of the paper. So if you want to take a break and do some cutting and coloring, at least cut them out. You don't have to color them, but if you would like to, you may. I colored mine. And then now I'm going to show them to you. So what's that one? Can you see what that is? Yeah, it's a lizard. Might be an iguana. Kind of looks like an iguana to me. Some kind of lizard. So would a lizard be a mammal that grows their baby inside their body, has fur or hair, nurses their young? I don't think so. I know lizards have cold blood and they lay eggs. So I know that a lizard is a reptile. So I'm going to put my lizard, I'm going to glue him on the reptile side. All right, let's take another look. Ooh, I have a little, there was a little turtle. He lived in a box. He swam in the puddles and climbed on the rocks. He snapped at the mosquito. He snapped at the flea. He snapped at the minnow, and he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito, he caught the flea, he caught the minnow, but he didn't catch me. We learned that one when we were learning about reptiles. Turtles are reptiles. They have bony plates, right? Their shell, and they lay eggs, and they have cold blood. That's why they're always like enjoying laying on logs and out in the sun to soak up that warmth that they don't have in their body. All right, how about this guy, the big elephant? Mammal or reptile? She is a mammal. She grows her babies inside of her body, and she nurses her babies. Remember in the book it said they don't have a lot of fur or hair. They have a little bit of hair, but they are mammals. So we're going to put that elephant right on the mammal side. All right, how about this? What is this? Yeah, it's an alligator or crocodile. Snap with his big jaws. They are what? Reptiles. They lay eggs and they are cold-blooded, and that makes them reptiles. So we're going to put those on, that one on the reptile side. So far we've got turtles, lizards, alligators, crocodiles on our reptile side, and just the elephant on the mammal side. All right, here comes a snake. Yep, it's a snake. Snakes lay eggs. Yes, they do. And they are cold-blooded. In fact, sometimes you will see them coming out to catch some sun because they like to get sun too. Because cold-blooded animals need to lay in the sun a lot. So you might see a snake getting some sun. So snakes are reptiles. We're going to add this one right over here. Snakes are reptiles. We've got more reptiles than mammals so far. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 reptiles and only 1 mammal. So the reptiles definitely have the most so far. Let's see if we can find some more mammals. All right, this is something that lives in the ocean. Remember, it said this kind of animal is actually the biggest kind of mammal, right? It's a whale, and the biggest kind of whale is the blue whale. And they live in the water, but they come up to breathe air because they have lungs, and they grow their babies inside their body and nurse their babies. So we know that they are mammals. So I have an elephant and a whale up there, the 2 kinds of mammals I have so far. All right, how about this rabbit? Well, remember when we were in Easter and we talk about, do rabbits lay eggs? No, they don't. Do they have fur? Yes, they do. They're very soft and fuzzy, aren't they? They grow their babies in their body, and they have fur or hair, and they nurse their babies. So they are mammals, just like the elephant and the whale. All right, we just have one last picture, and our last picture is a squirrel. It's a squirrel. It's a brown squirrel. Brown squirrel, swish your bushy tail. Brown squirrel, swish your bushy tail. Wrinkle up your little nose, hide a nut between your toes. Brown squirrel, swish your bushy tail. So they definitely have some fur along with their bushy tail. They grow their babies inside their body, and they nurse their babies, and they have lungs for breathing. They are mammals. They are mammals. Oh, and look at that. Now we have 4 and 4. So they are both equal numbers of mammals and reptiles. And of course, these aren't all the mammals and reptiles that there are. We just heard about so many more mammals, and I bet you know some more reptiles too. But those are just some to give you a good idea. So I hope you enjoyed learning about mammals today, and I am so glad you came to be with me, and I hope to see you really soon. Bye, my friends.